Everybody, welcome back to It's a Matchday podcast. Unfortunately, that's probably the only bit of enthusiasm you're going to hear today from me. As you can tell, my eyes are a bit weird because I am quite hungover. But we've got a lot to discuss. That was, well, I don't think many Wolves fans expected that yesterday. I want to try and open my eyes a bit more, crikey. I don't think
Certainly a game. I'll give them that.
There was a game, it happened, it was on Sky Sports, and 2-2. I think.
What happened last night, mate? It was welcome to the EFL, is what I want to say. I was not expecting that. I thought we'd go and walk him. Menezes scores the opening goal. I'm thinking, great, we're back in business. Fell over, that ball, mwah, beautiful. And then second half, first equaliser for starters. What's Totti Gomez doing there? Bentley. We could sit here all day and talk about Bentley and Totti Gomez, but I don't know what they were doing. Second half, second half fell asleep. I think there was it was like a hungover from last season. A lot of players sort of felt like they were playing like they were last season, where they weren't very good. Basically, they weren't very good. They weren't taking it as serious as they should have. And even like the ground, like if Jimenez didn't score last minute, that ground they'd be booed off. They'd be booed off that ground. Because towards the end, that South Bank was getting very hostile, and I was like, wow, this is like last season. It's unbelievable. But it's one game, mate. It's not the end of the world. It's just not an ideal start.
I found it yesterday. I found it quite stressful. I found it quite unenjoyable, to be honest. I think the concerning thing was for me was first half. Obviously, we created some chances and did look slightly better. Second half, we didn't even look like scoring. Like I'd be a lot if we'd lost and we're missing chances or their keeper had an incredible game. I would have been like, you know what, fair enough. But it was the fact that we weren't even beginning to break them down.
We didn't look very good. That penalty was that ball was a penalty. Definitely, completely agree. But it saved us. It completely saved us from our blushes, from our embarrassment. And like you said, second half, we looked like if you'd have told me Blackburn were the one relegated last season and we were the one who just survived relegation from the Championship, I'd have gone, yeah, I'd believed you because we looked.
They were better than us.
Really, really poor.
They were better than us. I think they had a game plan. They stuck to it. I mean, look, you can say what you want about Tony Mowbray. He's past it. He's a dinosaur, and he completely schooled us yesterday.
He did, yeah.
I mean, I suppose we'll just go through the game as it went on. So obviously, first 10 minutes was shaky. I think it was quite even, but I'd probably say they had the better of the chances.
We were a bit didn't seem comfortable in the first 10 minutes, and then Phil Lopez is going to have an unbelievable season. He's going to make that league look so easy. Ball into Menezes. Menezes makes a good run and he finishes it off like I thought he would. Last night Menezes was really good last night. I back him. I thought he played really well. Phil Lopez.
It's interesting. I'm a bit conflicted on Menezes because yes, he scored, but some of his passing shocking, man. And
that's the concern, isn't it? If you can't pass the ball as a midfielder, then
the midfield in general, I'm really worried about because Andre was basically the only one in midfield. Massive gap. We're pretty much playing like five up top, which I do respect. He's trying to play this high press. He's trying to play this system, and he's trying to he obviously clearly wants to outscore teams, but we didn't look like creating chances. You got all those players up there. We didn't look like creating chances. We need Jordan James now. Bring him in. It sounds ridiculous to say, we're probably player value, transfer market, probably over 100 million, that starting 11, right? Blackburn, I'm sure it's something like 8 million.
I saw it tweet, I think ours was 96.5 and ours was like £6.9 million. We were the bigger team, bigger club, bigger budget. And yesterday we got scored. Like you said, that midfield, Andre, I thought he thinks it's easy than it was going to be because he looked by himself, albeit Menezes was out running, doing God knows where, and that foot four's doing whatever they are as well. But he looks very disconnected, which is the concerning. And like you said, midfield, Adam Forshaw made us look stupid. Made us look stupid, man. I said
they brought Sam Morsey.
Sam Morsey, Forshaw.
135. They brought on one 35-year-old for another 35-year-old. Andre, for me, I didn't think he was too bad when he kind of had a chance, but there was a lot of the times where he was like chasing the ball from like halfway up the pitch because he's having to like marshal two players.
It's a lesson.
It's worrying.
Welcome to the EFL.
I didn't think the subs were great either. One thing I will say was, obviously, I think everyone questioned bringing on Chachua and then playing him left back. It was his cross that did win the penalty, so I think you kind of have to give Season credit there. Whether he planned on that, I don't know.
He's getting no credit for me, mate. I'm sorry. Jackson's getting naff all for me, mate. Handball was not... It was handball. It was handball, but that cross was going to nobody. If he didn't handball it, was going straight out of the box. So
but at least he did put a cross in.
He put a cross, exactly, yeah. Second half, he was just sat there, passing the ball around the box. Make something happen, man. Make a direct run.
I reckon we just touch on the positives first, because I think Fer Lopez was really good yesterday. His dribbling.
He makes the game look so easy, and he's gonna have a great season in the Championship.
I'm worried a lower Prem team's gonna think we could get this guy. I mean, hopefully they'll look at him in the Prem last season and think, oh, maybe not, but he'll be really good this season. I thought Trippier, probably one of his poorer games, but I still thought he was pretty decent. There was a couple of moves. Obviously, he started the move for the goal as well. Defended well. I heard he is injured. So
that's fake news, George, because I cannot be watching Jack to cheer, man.
Well, you got to hope it's fake news, but if it's not fake news, it's either Liam or Tacho, which in my opinion is not good enough. Is that about it for the positives? Obviously, great to see Jimenez back, great touch, all that stuff in the South Bank, and obviously he took his penalty well. And to be fair, I did actually think he did quite well when he came on.
Yeah, I thought he looked like Jimenez had the ball up really well. He made the runs, he did what he had to do as a striker, and like you said, the scarf is a really nice touch. I got mine, I sit in the South Bank, giving mine to my nephew. It's not unvinted. I've turned my tweet, of course. My nephew's got it now. He sits in the Steve Ball. It's his first season ticket this season. So a life of misery awaits for him now, supporting Wolves.
Oh, yeah, so you had to give him a scarf to...
Yeah, so I gave him the scarf.
Settle the blow, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise he'll go on my rail, that'll be it, you know what I mean? So he'll enjoy it more than me. But like I said, it's nice to have him back. Nice to see him start. Positives other than that, Moller Wolf playing was interesting. Okay, I think Hugo was injured.
I don't think that's a positive. Moller Wolf playing. Look, I am going to kind of give Moller Wolf a bit of a free pass. Yeah, I didn't think he was very good at all last night, but to be fair, he hasn't really had a pre-season. You can tell he didn't really understand the system, and he was playing next to Totti Gomez. So, and like, I think the best thing to do is just go player by player and just talk about their game. So Bentley's not good enough.
I'd sell him for 20 quid, mate. He's not good enough. He wasn't good enough 5 years ago. He's not good enough now.
I don't know. Would you have played Sarr?
I would have played Sarr. I get he wants to be.
I don't know why you wouldn't play Sarr.
But
I don't know why you wouldn't.
Mate, he's getting paid very well to be at the club.
Really, see, Sarr, who doesn't really want to be there, he would still... Like, Sarr, I wouldn't say has never not tried. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say he doesn't care about the club. He's wanted to leave for a while, but that video back in October when he was talking to fans, he definitely cares about the club. So you got to play Sarr. Look, were the goals necessarily Bentley's fault yesterday? Probably not. He probably could have done a bit better for the second one.
I think Sarr saved that first goal. We've seen Sarr make those wonder saves before, where you just think... Because point blank reaction say, I think Sarr's really good at doing that. I think Bentley doesn't make that save, but I think Sarr makes it just about... Okay, we'll never know, right? We'll never know, but I think Sarr probably makes that save purely because it's Jose Sarr, and he's.
Sarr's distribution's not great, but Bentley's not. We just need a new keeper, to be honest. Like, forget Sarr, forget Bentley, forget. You'd take Johnston over Bentley. I don't know where the hell he is.
I don't know where he is. Sick note, Johnston.
Yeah, as we've already touched on Trippier. Hopefully, he's not injured for too long because we definitely need him. Mascara's an interesting one for me because I feel like Mascara could probably play alongside a Krejci, but. Next to Subject 24, it's not going to work.
like because there are other podcasts that you can listen to and they'll slag off the team and the owners and everyone else, but I don't like counting individual players out. But Totti Gomez, he's been here for 6-7 seasons now. I don't see what he brings to the club other than being Portuguese because I just don't see it in him. I do
like him as a guy. You know, he's a cool guy.
I'm sure he is.
But he actually used to be good. I mean, when we beat Man United at Old Trafford, he had such our last away win, which was like 18 months ago now, which is scary.
Back in the olden days.
Yeah, but he was really good that day, and that period, that 6 in a row, he looked good. I mean, I don't know whether he's only a player he can play in a back five. I don't know whether he's at left back. I mean, he looked good at left back under Lopetegui, but he just seems to get worse and worse and worse. And
that's the issue. He's not progressing
in the Championship.
He was quite young, wasn't he? He was quite. He was like 23, 24, and now I think he's 27 now.
Yeah. No, he should be in his prime of his career. But I thought in the Championship, obviously his distribution's one thing, but you don't really need to be a ball playing centre back in the Championship. Let's be completely real here. But I thought of his pace and his power, and I've defended this guy so much more than anyone else. You know, when people say to him, "Oh, Totti shouldn't be captain," I say, "Well, you know, like Trippier will be doing all the talking anyway." But he's basically at fault for both goals yesterday.
I don't think he should be playing full stop. I know Krejci and Santi Bueno probably won out as well, but I just think they're Wolves players that we're paying them very well to be here. Just play them. I know an injury could, ruin their chances of move away, but I don't care. That's not my issue. My issue is getting Wolves back to the Premier League and getting 3 points. And last night, Totti Gomez probably cost us 2 points, or at least winning the game. So yeah, Totti again, nice guy. I'm sure we're going to see more of him in this season. He might grow into the season. Physically, I think he's good enough for the Championship. That being said, those 2 goals, he wasn't really up for wrestling either of those forwards. So maybe not. But him. Obviously, then you got left back next to him. Then knock-on effect there is the left back Hugo Bueno and Mono Wolf can't then do what they need to do, which is run down those lines because they're now having to cover Totti Gomez. So it's a knock-on effect for the entire team. And Totti Gomez, love him or hate him, I think he's still.
Well, I think how I'd resolve that, because I don't think Totti's going to leave. I think Caesar's kind of got him in the plans, and I think Caesar will seem to rate him. The way I'd sort of handle it is I'd bring in a new centre back alongside Mascara, and then you'd have Totti sort of as your 4th choice centre back, or your backup left back for Hugo Bueno, because I mean Wolf didn't show much last night, and if he is going to stay, is he really going to want to sit on the bench in the Championship? Because I think it's clear that Hugo Bueno is the first choice. I don't know how long he's injured for, but I hope he's back soon. Because he looked really good against Port Vale. In my opinion, he's probably in the top 5 best players we've got. So definitely Hugo Bueno needs to come back in. We'll move on to the midfield. We already touched a bit up on Andre. Again, I don't think he had a great game, but I think it's hard to criticise him because he didn't really get a lot of help at all.
Yeah. That's the concerning thing is that midfield the balance has to be there, and I don't think it's quite there just yet. And I think when you've got the wingers like Rodrigo and Mane, who aren't even proper wingers, that's again another issue that we need to sort of resolve as well. Mane's not a winger. You can always see he wants to cut back inside, go through the middle. He's just not a winger. And Said's injured. Wang on his way out. There's no Bellegarde. So who do you play there? Mateus Mane.
I was quite vocal that Bellegarde had quite a bad attitude last season and didn't really want him last season, but I think as a wing option and a versatile sort of midfielder, I could really do with him back. Again, my main concern with last night was obviously Andre was playing in the 6 and Menezes and Lopez almost played both as 10s. You also had Mane and Rodrigo Gomez so high up the pitch. And it was just like there was just such a big gap.
Was obvious.
And I do want to give Blackburn some credit because I thought they were a poor team coming in, but they did well. They did really well. They were physical. They had a game plan. They stuck to it. As I said, I don't really particularly rate Mowbray as a manager anymore, and I do still think they'll struggle this season. I think because at the end of the day, the way they played, you'd be fuming if you're a Blackburn fan not to win that in the manner they sort of conceded. So both teams got a point, and I think that is a positive. I think if we had lost, it would be a lot worse. The fact we managed to rescue a point, I would definitely take that. But for me, I wasn't really very happy. Even when we got the penalty, I was a bit like, I thought he got away with it. I know it's Raúl Jiménez, but I just thought the way this game's going, he might miss. It could be just the worst possible start.
Typical Wolves if he misses.
But there's some things that just don't happen, and Raúl Jiménez does not miss penalties. I'm trying to think, did he ever miss one for us? In the Europa League, okay. Let's not talk about that right now.
We'll get over that.
It's already bad enough as it is. We don't need to remind the viewers of that. But it's oh my god. Honestly, I couldn't believe what I was watching at times, and I was just thinking, I remember we got to 70 minutes. I was thinking, there's 20 minutes to go of this game. We're 2-1 down, and I don't see us scoring at all. And the minutes just kept ticking. We didn't look like scoring anymore. There's not a lot on the bench. I thought Doyle did okay when he came on.
That's also
a couple of decent set pieces.
Doyle was decent as well, but the bench is who'd you bring on? Besides Jimenez, who's going to change that game?
Who's not on? Obviously Huang, Sasa are on the way out. Boubacar's on his way out. Who again? I think you could have maybe brought him on yesterday. Even as I said, yes, they were on the way out, but just use them. Shereira coming up. Shereira coming on in 2026. Really, look, I thought he actually did quite decent. But come on, man! We can't just keep. It's just nightmares of that Gary O'Neill injury-stricken season. Shereira coming on. Where's Leon Shereira? Nathan Fraser. That'll be next.
Nathan Fraser nowadays.
Well, exactly. That's what I mean. We need we do need signings because I think the 11's okay. I was going to say, before probably this podcast, before the game, I would have said like it's a good enough 11 to go up. I'm not so sure it is now. I mean, I think Jordan James, definitely. We need a centre back, definitely. I wouldn't even mind getting in the backup right back, to be honest. If he's, he brought on Tachari, he brought on Lima. Are they good enough? I mean,
I thought Jackson was fine, like you said. He played left back. He could play left back. I mean, apparently play left back. Good to know. I thought he was fine.
He can play anywhere, but he can play anywhere.
Of course he can, mate. With his
he
legs.
Can play anywhere, but like you can put him up front. He might actually be better up front. At least he's out the way.
There is legs. With his legs, he can play anywhere. But like you said, again, if you're losing a game or Trippier gets injured long term, you've got Jackson in for 5, 6, 7 games. It's not filling you with any confidence, man. It just isn't. And I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he is. I'm sure they're all nice people, but that's not going to help you get promoted. Edwards was a nice guy as well. I don't want him in charge. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people were sort of saying, would Rob Edwards have won that game yesterday? I mean, no. he may well have won that game yesterday, but you got to think long term.
There's 45 games left to go. So yesterday we got a draw, like you said. It wasn't a defeat, thankfully. Jesus. So we're just gonna go again next week against Preston. If we don't beat Preston, and there's not a reaction, then we can sort of start to think, oh, okay.
Yeah.
South Bank. I don't know if you were sitting George and Billy Wright, right?
Steve Bull, I sit.
And Steve Bull's awesome, yeah. So I don't know if you guys sort of felt it, but in the South Bank, last 20 minutes, they were getting really edgy in terms of, when the ball went backwards or, a pass went sideways or, throw him happened.
Yeah, I'm not like it felt very reminiscent of the last season, which I can't believe I'm saying. I mean, the emotions. I think last season, probably the beginning of last season, because I think everyone had accepted we'd gone down. It was just more depressing rather than stressful end of last season. But it kind of my emotions kind of mirrored the Burnley home game, the Brighton home game last season. Just the stress and how tense it was, that shouldn't be happening in the Championship against Blackburn. But
welcome to
Ben, have we underestimated the Championship?
Well, I think
are Blackburn just going to be unreal, and then it's just
Blackburn
going to be
win the league, mate. That's the issue. We just drew to the title winners. That's going to be what's going to happen, George. But listen, it's a long way to go. It's not a defeat. Preston next week, I think, will tell us more. I think Preston will come out and play more football than Blackburn did.
Because I thought Preston were meant to be better than Blackburn, but apparently, from what I've heard from their fans, apparently they're kind of expecting kind of like a dull season, really.
That's what I mean.
I mean, an away win
to Preston and get 3 points.
An away win would be a massive lift for the fans, just because obviously we haven't won away in so long. There's going to be a lot of fans there. It'll be a good atmosphere, and obviously your away fans are your biggest Wolves fans, obviously, because they travel the country every week to watch Wolves. Not win away, so it's it'd be a massive lift. I mean, what change would you make? Any changes to the team? I think you got it right. Would you start? I think does Raúl Jiménez need? Do we need Raúl Jiménez already?
Yeah,
in the starting 11.
I imagine he was sort of hoping that Raúl would sort of just easy way into the West Ham game and then start him against West Ham. But I think it might be too soon. That might be too far away, mate. We need Jiménez right now. Adam Armstrong apparently is supposed to be the next big thing in the Championship, but last night, not convinced about Adam Armstrong.
Adam Armstrong is always better when he's playing off a striker. So I think Armstrong and Jimenez will work well together. It might be a bit of like an Adama Jimenez.
Do you then tweak it and then sort of play almost like a 4-3-2-1 with Jimenez up front, and then you got Mane and Armstrong, as inside forwards, and then midfield 3 of Andre, Menezzi, and Tommy Doyle or something. And then you've got to obviously drop Lopez, which is a shame. But
you got to play. No, he won't drop Fer Lopez. I think it's very telling the players who he kept on, and for me it was worrying that he gave Menezzi a full game. I mean, Menezzi probably is one of our biggest goal threats, which is crazy to say. Yeah. But that I do want to talk about that goal because it was a really good goal, really good goal.
Trippier started it. Fer Lopez found the space. Menezzi ran into the space and finished it. It was a good goal, and if you see that more often, we're in for a good season. But
that's what I mean. I think if we had scored, if we'd scored 2 penalties or a scrappy corner or something, that goal is okay. This is what we could see. But how many times? I mean, that might happen once or twice a game in the Championship. I mean, but if it's always Menezzi, Menezzi's not going to score every time, is he? Come on now.
That's also the concern. Jordan James, whether.
Well, yeah,
we're talking.
Well, I mean, he really seems to rate Menezzi, but then he's signing James, so is he going to... I don't know. I mean, you can't drop Andre, so... Mate, I mean, he put Fer Lopez on the right wing. There's so many unanswered questions. I mean, I think Caesar was probably in for a shock. I can't imagine he's very happy. I really hope the players are back in training today and it's an intense week at Compton because I think it needs to be. I think, Trippier came off, apparently had his head in his hands. He's probably thinking, what the hell have I done coming here? But, some players like Trippier, this is their time to really step up and be like, right, this is the Championship. This is what's going to happen. Again, we do have a bit more experience this season. I'd like to bring in one more leader, to be honest, because I think the squad is still light of leaders. Mascara, some of the things Mascara's getting up to yesterday. He was injured, then he was back on the pitch, then he was up front, and I'm just thinking, how are the players on the pitch allowed him to play like this? Again, he was doing some good pressing towards the end of the game, and that probably did lead to us sort of making the move to get the penalty, but I just can't believe
much confidence.
Totti and Mascara cannot play together, and the sooner that's fixed, the sooner we will improve, because obviously everything starts from the back. Apparently Caesar wants to keep Krejci. If we can keep Krejci, it might be problem solved, honestly. That's how important Krejci could be. I think, from what it sounds like, Krejci's more likely to stay than Bueno. I don't think Santi Bueno's the answer, because I think Santi Bueno's an okay defender. But I think he'll probably won't be physical enough for the Championship anyway, so I'm not really too bothered about him. Mate, what would you give the What would you give the performance rating?
Well, I'm glad we scored a penalty. Otherwise, it would have been a 2 out of 10. I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. We didn't lose.
I think a 4. Great. I think a 4's fair, because I think the goal gives you a point. And just the fact we didn't lose, you can't be giving them 2 out of 10s when they're getting draws.
Totti Gomez starts. That's at least 5 points off.
Man of the match.
Starting him alone. Fer Lopez. I think I like him. I like him as a player. I like him as a person. I just think he's going to be our kryptonite this season. Mateus Mane on the left hand side doesn't work. I don't think he likes playing there either. It'd be great if he could pass the ball.
I don't know where else you're going to play him though.
That's the concern.
That's where he was playing last season for the majority. Mane at his best was actually best in midfield. That West Ham Everton game last season when he was at his best, he played in the midfield. Then for some reason, that system that was working, Rob Edwards decided to scrap it.
Bit it off.
But could a 5 at the back reappear?
Don't give him ideas, George. I'm not having this again. We can't be doing this every single time we play back 4 and we lose a game. Everyone's like, back 5, fix it. No,
I thought he was going to go to a back 5 at one point yesterday. I genuinely thought he was going to do it.
I ain't watching this game again, mate. I swear to you. It's been 10 years. We are a professional football club and we can't play back 4. Something's got to change, and it's defenders. Mascara, Totti Gomez. I think Mascara will be fine.
I think Mascara, as I said before, Mascara's dependent on who's next to him.
Yeah.
So we need a good experienced Championship centre back next to him. Someone not Craig Dawson, of course, but someone of that sort of ilk. Someone who knows the league, proper British centre back who can
Danny Bath, bring him back. Come on, Cesar.
No, not Danny Bath. I know he's signed for Millwall,
but come on.
No, not Danny Bath. Come on, Ben. Come on, we need to do better.
Bring him back.
If we're playing a back 5, I'd consider it.
Oh, Cesar, have a word. Listen, we're gonna be fine. I'm still confident we're gonna go up, win the league. We're gonna find out. But it's one game, and some of the stuff I've seen on social media about just writing us off on day one is.
I've seen people talk about the double drop, and that's ridiculous.
That's outrageous. Ridiculous. So I'm gonna look. One game.
I'm gonna look into the camera, and I'm gonna give a message to Fosun. You let us down last season. You told us in the fans forum you're going to sign these players. I've given you the benefit of the doubt. I've backed you. Nathan G, I've said a lot of good things about you. But now's the time to make some signings. Get Jordan James done today if you can. Honestly, get it done today. It might, hopefully, when we finish recording this podcast, is announced. And just bring in the players that we need to bring in. We've got plenty of money. Yes, maybe we're saving some for January. But there's no depth on the bench. And I've given you the benefit of the doubt as much as I can. But I'm sorry, it's time to start signing players. And we know you got players on your radar. If you have to sell players, just get rid of them. Bring in players that know the league. Because we haven't really done that. We brought Trippier who knows the league, that's it. So, yeah. Oh, God. I'm just fuming because I just expected to wake up this morning, just smile on my face.
Yeah,
we're winning the Championship.
Happy days.
Did you think when we scored that penalty? Did you think there was a chance we could nick it 3-2? I mean, they had the attack.
A little bit, a slight little bit. I thought we can win this now. We can go win this. We've got momentum, but then and I watched Menetzi sort of pass the ball and go, yeah, never mind.
If we had scored 3 minutes earlier, that would have given us a bit more time.
Chance, mate.
But we just could have. I just felt like we could have created so much more.
That's the disappointment. I think the expectation from pre-season was high press, lots of chances, lots of goals, and we had high press, no chances, and 2 goals. So I suppose there's pros and cons. It's the first game of the season. Blackburn might shock us all. That might be the issue. Blackburn might be a really good team. And if they
it could be. We don't really know. It's weird with Wolves fans because we haven't been in the. Some Wolves fans can pretend they watch the Championship regularly. You may do. I never really did. But really, see, if you're not watching them week in, week out as intensely as you'd be watching Wolves, you don't really know how the league's changed, what the league's like. I mean, I don't remember it. I don't know. I mean, even under like Paul Lambert, I still remember like creating chances. And like, we had players like Helder Costa, I remember it being like end to end, back and forth. I don't remember like low blocks and, not be able to break quite an average team down. I don't remember that. Especially with the quality players we've got. I
think the league's just gotten better, mate, the last 10 years. Like, I think it's the 6th highest rated league in Europe now, I think.
And we are a big fish, and so teams are going to be thinking Wolves away. Molineux, Athletic actually ranked Molineux the best football stadium in the Football League, so...
Jesus. What's everyone else doing? Steve Dawson is a lick of fate, mate. Come on.
Well,
I know. Like Southampton.
But it's a big stadium, innit?
It is a big stadium.
It's Friday night under the lights.
Beautiful.
Blackburn, we're always going to go for it. It was nice to see Molineux sold out again. Yeah. Atmosphere was actually quite decent. Also, no VAR was really good. And people say, we could have had penalties and stuff. I just really enjoyed being able to celebrate scoring.
The goal, about being chalked off.
People can make excuses. If we had a VAR, we may have got a penalty. We can't be making excuses to beat Blackburn.
Not on day one.
Game's the game, man. Like at the end of the day, this is what we wanted. We wanted no VAR, and we did get it. Obviously, not the way we wanted, but we now have no VAR. So
no VAR, mate. We're gonna be fine. I'm so confident.
I think we'll probably. No, carry on, mate.
No, please, yeah. Cesar, I want to touch on him wearing the blazer on the sideline. That was a nice little touch.
Yeah, he did smarten up a bit, which is nice.
Which is nice. Yeah. Should have worn a shirt though, but take blazer and shorts, or trousers even. But again, that doesn't win you games. So if you can also be very good tactically, then you're good to go. But it was nice to see somebody a bit smarter rather than a pseudo tracksuit that we've been thrown to.
I feel like we've pretty much covered everything. Is there anything else you want to add before we end the show? But
transfer news, I suppose we covered that sort of the first podcast. But like you said, Sasa, Hwang, Boubacar, all on the way out if they can get moved away. Jose Sarr is still in the balance. Dan Bentley hopefully gets shot to the moon. And
I think Bentley will stay. I think it'll be Johnson will definitely go. Sarr. At the end of the day, if Bentley is the first choice and Sarr's still at the club, like what's going on there?
It's not a serious club, mate.
Like why would you just not start Sarr, man?
Yeah. Unless a move is that close where like an injury would ruin it for. But even nowadays, injuries you can still pass medicals with an injury. Like it's still possible. It just depends how long the injury is.
I know.
I'd play him. Like you said, he's our player. He gets paid a lot of money to be here. Play him. Jose Sarr, 80%, it would be miles better than Dan Bentley at 100%.
And he's not going to not try. I'm sorry, but he's not going to not try.
No, he's a pro player. He's professional.
Exactly.
I'd back him, man.
He wants to leave, but he wants to leave, but he still cares about the club. I mean, you got to think he's been at the club when really it's not. We've basically been in relegation battle every year, so he's probably thinking, I could probably go and play in Europe or something like that. It's fair enough. I mean, he could easily play in like, go back to Olympiacos or something like that.
You could play in top Europe. I'm very confident in that.
Yeah, of course, but he's just not really suited to English football anymore. I mean, we had but as I said, if we have to play him against Preston, if we have to play him against, I don't know. I mean, luckily we do have. It's not like the Premier League, obviously we do have to wait a week, but then the games do roll in quite quick. So we've got. We can beat Preston, we can beat Sheffield, we can get good performances and we can start building then. We can start building some momentum, which is nice. Obviously, in the Prem, it's like, you can play 3 games and an international break, whereas at least in the Championship, you can play a good few games before that first international break. And as I said, hopefully we can build some momentum and hopefully we can turn it around because based off yesterday, I think I'm still going to say we can go up, but I think it would be probably via the playoffs rather than automatics judging off yesterday.
Oh, George, have some faith, mush. I back
It's hard. There's not, apart from the goal, apart from Fer Lopez, apart from Raúl Jiménez, there's not really many positives, unfortunately.
No, I completely agree.
And I've been very positive over pre-season. By the way, I've said this on my TikTok earlier. By the way, the people are like, "Oh, I told you so," all this, blah, blah. I don't really care. I don't care. I was trying to back the team. I was trying to be positive because we had a worse season of our life last season. So I just don't care. So all you prats commenting, "I told you so," shut up.
If your aim is to see Wolves fail so you can say, "I told you so," come on. Are you even a real fan?
You're not a fan, are you? Just like...
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Edwards last season, I wanted him to succeed, obviously. It's Wolves. I wanted him to succeed. Didn't happen. And then everyone was like, "Oh, I told you so. Edwards wasn't the guy." Okay, and? You've not won a trophy. We've got relegated. That's why he's gone. I don't want Wolves to be bad just so I can say, "Oh, told you so." I want Jackson and Manetzi and Bentley to play 10 out of 10 next weekend and go, "Ben, you're a prat. You're not good enough for this podcast. You should never have a podcast again in your life." And I'm like, "Yeah, fair play. Clap on the pitch." Yeah, but as it stands, they aren't doing that. We need to win next week, and then everyone will be happy again, and we can have a nice thumbnail of us smiling and celebrating in the away kit, and we're good to go. But right now, it's not looking... We'll see. We'll see. I'm not too worried just yet. Ask me again next weekend.
Well, I hope we do win next weekend, because obviously I'm walking there, which I think the thought of walking to an away game walking to the Wolves last night was making me feel pretty horrible. Obviously, I'm still doing it, don't worry. Start that on Tuesday, so I'm excited for that. Guys, remember, if you are listening, if you can donate, that'd be unreal. But I think that's probably everything. Yeah,
one last thing from me, though, George.
Carry on. I'm keep trying to end it.
Yeah, no, so I'm sorry. Yeah, we'll end it in a minute, I promise you. The Jimenez penalty, his run-up, his sort of stop, start, stutter. I saw a lot of comments about that. What do you reckon? Yes or no? Loud? Not allowed?
Not a fan, but at the end of the day, he is the master of his trade, and he did score. So until he misses one that way, I'm not going to criticise it.
Oh, you did miss against Sevilla. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Hope you guys have enjoyed the podcast, of course. Leave it a 5-star, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of nonsense. We're on our Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube as well. We are now indeed. Yes, so those links will be there.
I did have someone ask me about Spotify. So also, guys, the support for the first podcast was really good. Yeah, really, really happy with that. Thank you so much for tuning in. As I said, YouTube's not as easy to crack as TikTok. I feel like I've definitely cracked short form, but long form, I'm still working on my trade. So it was really positive because the last podcast I tried didn't really work. I mean, I think me and Ben is going to do good. Well, there is talks of a new signing as well. I'll let you guess in the comments who that could be. But yeah, he's probably not going to be on the show as regularly, but we're still going to sort of have him in the. We'll have him in the group chat, and we'll be discussing. So have a guess who that could be. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you all later.
Bye bye.